The Honor 9 won't actually be announced in the West for a little while longer, but here's the thing. Huawei still likes to do early, separate launch events for its Honor phones in China, and that means that just about everything you want to know about the Honor 9 is already out there in the wild, albeit in a language that you might not be able to understand. In any case, if you're impatient like me, it's a great time to get an early look at the next flagship phone from Honor. Here's what we know so far. So yes, it's the direct successor to the Honor 8, one of our favourite mid-priced flagship phones of 2016, and the spec sheet is very close to the Huawei P10. You've got a Kirin 960 processor, 4GB or 6GB of RAM, 64, 128GB of storage plus SD, dual cameras with 12MP colour plus 20MP monochrome sensors, an 8MP front camera, 4K video support, dual SIM, and a 5.15-inch 1080p display with 2.5D curved glass. And yes, that all-important front-facing fingerprint scanner. So it's very similar to the P10 but not identical, and the major differences are there's no optical stabilization in the main camera, there's an f2.0 lens for the selfie camera down from f1.9, and plain old 9V 2A quick charging instead of Huawei Supercharge. The spec sheet also doesn't mention Gorilla Glass 5, so there's a good chance the Honor 9 is using something else on the front and back. Once again, Honor's flagship phone features a glass and metal chassis, this time with curved 3D glass on the back, formed of 15 layers of the material. The curved rear panel should give the Honor 9 a more comfortable in-hand fit, while tighter joins between the metal and glass should hopefully eliminate the unfortunate hovercraft effect that caused the Honor 8 to gradually slide its way across flat surfaces. It's also kind of interesting that Huawei's two brands aren't competing so directly with themselves this year. Based on the Chinese pricing, the Honor 9 will land at a price tier below the P10, and so the slight spec downgrade is to be expected. That's in contrast to the situation last year, where the Honor 8 was the winner on both specs and price compared to the Huawei P9. So it looks a bit different and the internals have been upgraded, but the jump from Honor 8 to Honor 9 doesn't really bring any revolutionary changes. That's just fine though, because it doesn't really need to. Externally, the most noticeable shakeup is the relocation of the fingerprint scanner around the front of the phone, and from what we've seen of the software so far, we can expect the P10's optional swipe input on the fingerprint scanner to carry across as well. The camera hardware lands somewhere between the Mate 9 and Honor 8 Pro, so expect good photos, if not the very best out there. The Honor 8 Pro conjured up some impressive pics out of similar hardware, so hopefully the new 12 plus 20MP combo will build on that without sacrificing low light performance. On the audio side, Honor is plugging its new high-sten 3D surround audio system. The new hi-fi chip is tuned by Grammy Award winner Rainer Maillard, who makes a cameo on the product page. And yes, that means the increasingly rare headphone jack is indeed included despite rumours to the contrary. So that's the first roundup of what we're expecting from the Honor 9 based on what's been revealed in the Chinese marketing stuff so far. A sharper take on a familiar design, some predictable internal hardware upgrades, and a focus on improved camera and audio quality. Price-wise, the base model 4 plus 64GB Honor 9 will go on sale for the equivalent of $340 in China, but a word of warning that Western prices for Honor phones almost never match the super competitive Chinese pricing. I'd expect something around the $400 mark to be a more realistic target there. That's about all we know right now. Stay tuned to Android Central the next couple of weeks for more on the Honor 9 as we approach the European launch, and subscribe so you don't miss our coverage of the phone as it lands. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.